Hi, friends. Happy Monday night. It is another New to Oils gathering, and we are so glad that you're here. My name is Skyla Mann, and I get to be the tour guide of this bus. And tonight, the whole purpose is to just give you a little appetizer of what some of the products from Young Living Essential Oils are all about. And we have handpicked some of the finest leaders on our team to share their experiences and their favorites about what comes in this box. We like to call this the Premium Starter Kit, and it is literally a box of goodness that will change your ever-loving life. So to kick things off, I'm just going to talk to you really briefly about what essential oils are, because you have no doubt seen them in lots of different places and wondered, what do people do with these colorful little bottles of oil? Okay, so inside these bottles is a very potent liquid that is essentially the lifeblood of the plant that it came from. So we have essential oils from the peppermint plant and from cedar trees, and we have essential oils from lavender, and each of them have a very specific job that they do both for the plant, but also when those essential oils are distilled properly, they are extremely beneficial for us as well. So I'm going to hand this over to Chelsea, and she's going to give you some ideas about how we can use the essential oils.
Hello. All right. So there are three main ways that we can use essential oils, and they are aromatically, which would be like breathing them, topically, so on your skin, and then internally. And I'm going to just run through kind of some basics, like tips and tricks about how to use all of those different ways. So aromatically, one obvious way is just to smell it out of the bottle, which is nice because then you're not actually using it. So then you can use it for the diffuser or on your skin. So if you just need the aromatic benefits, out of the bottle is fantastic. Otherwise, you can put one, I'm going to actually use this one. This is Seedlings Calm. So you can just put a drop in your hand and rub it. I'm going the wrong way. Usually people say go the other way. And then just breathe in. We call that tenting. My mother-in-law calls it snuffing. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, so you can put it in your hand and tent. There's a diffuser, which we'll get into later. There's diffuser jewelry, or you can just put it on your clothes. Like any way that you're going to be able to smell it, go for it. So that's aromatically. The next way is topically. And this is where people can kind of be like, well, what are the rules? What are the rules? Because I have to do it right, and I don't want to do anything wrong, and I'm kind of scared or I'm uneasy about it. My first rule is not to be afraid about using them topically, because that was one of my first mistakes. Was it just took me too long to feel super comfortable with using the oils. And now I'm like, they're everywhere all the time. So number one, don't be afraid to use them. And then otherwise, so like if you're just using like thieves for like general wellness, supporting your immune system and stuff, the bottom of your feet is a super great place. You want the back of your neck or on your spine. Those are really great receptive areas. Otherwise, if you're using something for pain like Panaway or whatever it may be, you're going to think more on location, like whatever that location is that is needing support, that's where you're going to put it. And then safety wise, topically, think about if they're smelling kind of spicy, or if you put it on and then it's hot or uncomfortable, you're going to want to dilute it with some coconut oil, or like when we first started, we didn't have any other carrier oil but olive oil. And that was our go-to, and it was really thick and it was really greasy, but that's what we had. And that's how we learned. We know better now, but that was how we started. So there's really no wrong way. You just want a fatty oil, and that will take the burnout, especially around your eyes, but you do not want to use water because that will only intensify things. And then the last way is internally. So the first way would be like in a water bottle, and you'll always want to use glass or stainless steel, and then like a silicone straw because some oils will eat away at the plastic. And then you can put them in your food. And I will say, this was on my list too. So these two are both Thieves. This one is the white label, and it is labeled for internal use. It's approved by the FDA for internal use, which is fabulous that we did that. I believe we're still the only company that has jumped through the FDA's hoops on this to get an internally acceptable use for essential oils. But these are the exact same oil. So you have the same quality in both. This is just jumping through a hoop for the FDA. Yay. Okay. So put them in your water, put them in your food. Another great way is in a veggie capsule. I think you guys can see that. Yeah. So some of these don't taste very good, and you don't want that taste lingering on your taste buds. So put them in a capsule. You'll burp it up later, but it's much better than it lingering on your taste buds. Trust me. Yeah. So those are the 3 ways that we use the oils. I think I got through everything. So I just go on to the Seed to Seal, right? Okay. So the Seed to Seal, which coming out of the internally acceptable oils, only use Young Living oils internally. Please, 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 because we have the Seed to Seal. And so here's my story. We were impressed by Seed to Seal like right away, like learning about Young Living and everything. But when we went to convention last year, we were in the fields. And then when we were in some of the seminars, we heard from one of the field managers how they manage the fields. And we just heard like firsthand how they take care of things like herbicides. So for example, there's so much science behind this, you guys, and it's incredible how well they do it. They don't use herbicides for one. They will put goats out in the field. They will put ground cover plants in between the rows of the actual plants that we're going to be distilling. And those plants then give nutrients to the other plants that we're getting the oils from. Like, there's more that I could probably go into. I'm not going to go into it super huge, but I want you to know that Young Living totally takes care of the fields, the soil, the seeds we get. And then, so they grow it in the field, from the harvesting, then the distillery, into the bottles, shipped to you. That is our Seed to Seal promise. And we promise that it is utmost quality. We are the OG. We are the original essential oil company. We have the most experience. I'm not saying that and actually this also impressed me. From convention, we heard one of the lab people say, it's not that there's not other good oil companies out there, but we are the original and we have the most technology. We have the most experience. And the other people are just trying to catch up to us. Like, we are the furthest. We will continue to be the furthest. So we are doing this the best. Yeah, there's so much more about that. But Seed to Seal, from the seed in the ground to sealing it in the bottle, top-notch quality. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about diffusers. I have to admit that this trick that I'm going to tell you, it's probably not really even a trick, but it's something that I didn't learn until just a few months ago. And I've been using oils since 2014. Okay. So someone told me that you should put the oil in first and then the water. Where did I miss that detail? I always put the water in first and then I would put the oil in, and it, of course, no brainer. It makes sense, but I was just always doing it backwards. So anyway, this is one of the ways that you can use oils aromatically. It's super great, and they're really pretty. I love them because when you're getting rid of candles and all of the synthetic fragrances, you still want like something pretty, right? So this was like a great thing because it has a candlelight flicker and it's really pretty. It's not plugged in right now, obviously, but this one is really great. This was the Desert Mist. It's great. Comes in the starter kit. And then there's other ones. There's ones that you can choose from, and they're all beautiful and they're all great. I will say you can also buy like $20 Amazon diffusers, and we've done that too, and they work and they're good. But I will say that they do not hold up. So our plan was we were going to put like the cheap $20 diffusers in our kids' room because they get knocked over, the water spills, they short out, and then it's dead, right? And that's happened to us twice. This buddy has survived so many spills and it's had water all over, and he is still kicking. He runs music for us all day long during nap time, during playtime, all the time. We like the tweet sweets. That's what Malachi calls them. We have tweet sweets and we have piano for bedtime. The tweet sweets are for like playtime. So anyway, we love Feather the diffuser. It's great. And yeah, so how the diffuser works, I was going to tell you that too. So you put it in, and then you put the water and the oil in, and then there's a disc in there that vibrates really quickly, and it actually atomizes all of the water and the oil all together, and it disperses it into the air. And I will also say that Young Living diffusers are much more aromatically productive or efficient. So that's our opinion. We have had a few different kinds, and we're like, yeah, you know, like the Desert Mist is still like our favorite. And then the Lantern diffuser is also another favorite. They're the same guts, I believe. Okay. And then also in your kit, you get this fancy little thing. This is called a roller fitment. And I'm going to show you really quickly how to use this. So this is Seedlings Calm. We love this. And it is super nice to have the roller on this one, because then you can just roll it on your toddler's feet before bed. So the cool trick, you can use the lid to pop off the reducer. Then you pop this thing in. Then you use the lid to tighten it back on. And voila, you have a roller bottle, which is super great. So you can actually order a whole big pack of these from Young Living, and I would recommend Young Living rollers because quality. And then you can use empty bottles. This is an Empty Thieves. And then you can fill it with whatever you want. You can put a roller top on there, give it to your toddler, and hello, we have a toddler safe roller bottle that they can have all the time. And it's great. And also then in the middle of the night when you need tummy dries or DiGies or whatever it may be in the middle of the night. And now I'm a mom, I have littles, and that's why I'm like referring to all of the kid things, but hopefully there's other moms in here who can relate. So roller bottles, roller tops make everything super smooth, especially in the middle of the night or in crazy times, which is always. So that is my spiel. Ta-da.
Okay, I am also Chelsea, and I'm going to talk about a few things, and then I have to actually get off because my day's been insane and I still have things to do. But I just wanted to add to what Chelsea was talking about. One thing that I always tell all of like my new members or people who are new to oils is low and slow. It's really easy to remember. So what I tell them is low is meaning your feet, so you start at your feet, and then slow meaning add a carrier oil if you're really nervous about using them topically. Because I do know a lot of people who are just like, I think they're a little burned from the ones that they get at the store, which are full of fillers and aren't a therapeutic grade A oil. So with that being said, I just wanted to add that in there because I tell like everyone that, and I feel like it's so easy to remember. So I'm going to talk about just a few of the oils that come in the premium starter kit. So the first one I wanted to chat about was lemon. Lemon, everyone I swear goes through their lemon like super duper quick, and you're going to get the Vitality one, which like Chelsea said, they're the same exact oil, just couldn't have 3 different uses on one label basically. But I love this in my water. It is great for supporting not only your immune system, but also your digestive system. So I like to use it every single day, just for good gut health. Another one that we use all the time in our house that comes in the premium starter kit is Citrus Fresh. It's literally exactly what it says. It's a super fresh, citrusy smell. I love it for like freshening up my bathroom. A little trick for everyone is putting it inside of your toilet holder roll or whatever, your toilet roll. And when guests come over, it just smells really fresh in your bathroom. We also like to put it on our dryer balls. If you use dryer sheets, anyone who's new to oils, I would highly suggest you research them. They're not good for you. Dryer balls are super energy efficient, and you can add oils to them to still get that fresh smell on your clothes. The next one I'm going to talk about is Peace and Calming. So this one is amazing. A lot of people that get the premium starter kit, especially mamas, are going to tell you they love Peace and Calming. It is a little bit of like a citrusy smell, I think, but like also kind of just, I don't even know how to explain it. If anyone has a better idea to explain it, it's like kind of earthy, but kind of citrusy. Smells amazing. I diffuse it in my boys' room all the time. A girl who just got her kit today messaged me and she was like, I got my kit. What do I diffuse? Like, my kid has been just crazy off the walls all day. I was like, Peace and Calming and lavender. And she's like, okay, she's out. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, I know. Like, like you just can't even explain it. Like, Peace and Calming. It also comes with, she was talking about the roller fit tops. I know it's like Fitment. I don't know the word, but the roller top. And that one, you'll see it's like pieced together with the Peace and Calming and the Stress Away that comes in your premium starter kit. And this is a great one to pop it on and roll on the bottom of your feet, behind your ears. We love this, especially for topical use. And then Valor. So Valor smells amazing. It also, I just love it. It really got me through some stressful times when I don't know, like Chelsea said, like I feel like everything goes back to being a mom for me, especially with essential oils. So when, you know, you go back to work, if anyone can relate, if you can't, I'm sorry, this is like kind of TMI, but if you go back to work and you're pumping in that dark room, you're missing your baby, this stuff got me through it because it is so hard. So this for emotional support has been a lifesaver for me and also for my entire family. I roll it on my son, you know, when we're going to try something new, you know, he needs a little bit of courage, bravery, and even when he's just having kind of a rough day. Love Valor for emotional support. The last thing, do I have anything else on my list? I have it up and then it goes away. Okay, those are the ones I was going to talk about. So that was really fast. Sorry, guys. If you guys have any more questions, you can reach out to me or you can reach on here. But thanks for letting me share. Those are probably some of my top favorite oils in the premium starter kit. However, every single one of those oils that comes in the starter kit, when they say they're the most used oils, they are. I have tons of oils and I still go back to the ones in the starter kit. Like those are my every single day oils. So that is why they come in the kit and it's an amazing deal. So everyone have a good night.
I think I'm next. Yes, Skyla? Okay. That is a really good point that that Chelsea just made. That is so true. I have, I don't know, 300 oils. I'm not sure. No, not 300, 200 oils. But yes, these are all in rotation. So I never thought about it like that. So I've been oiling for 5 years. And I chose these three specifically to talk about them. So the ones that I've got, I have Pan Away. And you can see this is my bottle and it has that roller top that the first Chelsea talked about right on it. So this is a lifesaver for me. I think whether it was or was not, this is true or not, called Pain Away at one time. It should be called Pain Away, although the FDA wouldn't allow us to do that because it's not a drug. We're not doctors, right? But anything and everything discomfort. So that makes sense why there's a roller top on it. You can just roll it anywhere that you feel discomfort. These are some places that I use a lot. Back of my neck, muscles and joints. Also, so for me, the reason this is such a big one, I had the most debilitating pain and I can use this because it's my story. I'm not saying this would be your story. This is my story. Last July, I had the most debilitating pain I've ever had at the base of my neck. I didn't know what was happening. I thought that I had a pinched nerve or something awful. I just didn't know. And it made me so nauseous and sick. And in the middle of the night, I crawled to my oils cabinet and I started using another oil, which is, we're not going to talk about that one, but I started using it. It didn't touch it. Didn't touch the pain, nothing, didn't do anything. And something in me just told me to reach for this. And so I did, and I started rolling it on the base of my neck and my shoulders. And within minutes, I literally felt that pain, that horribleness just sort of melt away. And I started crying just from relief. So Panaway is always in my bag, and it is always near my bedside. So I'm never without it. That's my Panaway story. And I'm sticking to that one. Okay, the next one is Stress Away. And a lot of people say Stress Away is the oil. Once I smelled it, like I knew I had to get these oils from my living. It's like the gateway oil. It smells like a beach. It's got some vanilla oil in it, which is, unusual. Lime and some other, and tangerines in here, some other things. What is beautiful about this oil, the name is obvious. So diffuse it. And the best part, I like to say, diffuse it in your room where maybe there are some people who don't believe in the oils. They think they're voodoo. A lot of hubbies might say that, or just people who don't believe in them. You start diffusing this, and then all of a sudden the whole temperature of the room and like the energy, the vibe just starts to chill out and be cool. So I like to put this on a piece of felt that goes into my car vent, which acts like a diffuser, so that when I pick up my child from school, when we were having school, and I would pick her up from school, I'd put a drop on before she got in the car, because on the days that I didn't, she'd be melting down because she held it together all day at school, and then she'd melt with mommy. So that's an awesome one. And then quickly, my other story about this is, so those are like regular everyday uses, Stress Away. I have a lot of trauma in my past, and this oil is one that will minimize the physiological response in my body when I have a trigger of some sort. So if you have any kind of trauma or loss and you have a reaction to things physiologically, this oil, give it a try, because for me, it will literally take me from a 10 where I am, my body is flipping out, to a 3. And it's just amazing. And I put it on the back of my neck, or I'll just huff it, breathe it through the bottle. Okay, I got 2 more. Okay, the next one is Digize, and it comes in the starter kit. It comes in a Vitality label, which means you can ingest it, safe for ingestion. I don't have a Vitality Digize because I use it so much. I use the big guy, and that's what I reorder. It's the same oil. Yeah, it's the same oil either place. Okay, and you'll notice I've got a dropper top on it. So the way that I like to use Digize, you can certainly use it topically on your tummy. So Digize, digestion, right? Upset tummies, heartburn. I couldn't say that word, but I use it for heartburn, upset tummies, etc. And so you can use it topically. So I've actually walked to a friend's house and she had it diffusing, and I didn't think I would like it, and I actually liked it because it's got anise and ginger and fennel in here. So it's a pungent smell. But the way I use it with the dropper top is I do take it in a capsule, just like Chelsea was it Chelsea? Yeah, was talking about earlier. So I take it in a capsule every single day, and the dropper just helps me to just, put it in a capsule without making a mess. And I will say that if you take anything ingesting, whatever oil it is, you put the essential oil in here, you can fill it with a carrier like olive, like coconut, like avocado oil, some kind of oil that should help decrease burping and whatnot. For me, I just take Digize straight up, no carrier oil inside, and I'm good. I don't have any burps. Okay, last one. The Thieves Hand Sanitizer. Okay, this one kind of needs no introduction and where we are right now in the world. This is it. It smells amazing because it smells like Christmas, basically, because there's cinnamon in the Thieves. And it has no toxic ingredients at all. Everything is naturally sourced and it works really well and makes your hands feel really good, not sticky. And that's it. It's really great. It doesn't pay to skimp, basically, on hand sanitizer. So you want this.
Hi, I guess it's me. Okay, so I love the fact that everybody has their own favorite oils because I got to pick mine too, which is exciting. So my first one is frankincense, and this is one of those oils that is so exotic smelling that you don't really know how to use it or take it sometimes, but it is one of the biblical oils, and it's used for anointing. So I like to think of it as honoring yourself by using the frankincense because it really is soothing and calming and cooling, but it's also extremely beneficial. It used to be worth more than gold, if that tells you anything about the value of this. But, you know, it's uplifting. It helps spirituality. Sometimes I put it on before I meditate. It's immunostimulant, it's an antidepressant, and it's a muscle relaxant. So I use this in my bath with lavender a lot of the time if I'm having little aches and pains. And I use it for a face ritual. So I truly believe that when you take care of your skin takes care of you. And so one of my things that I do every Friday night is I take a nice bath and then I get some almond oil and 4 drops of frankincense, and I just keep rubbing it in until it dissolves all over the place. And I just feel anointed. It's pretty cool. So it doesn't need to be diluted if you don't want it to be. And again, you can always use it on the soles of your feet if you don't want to take a bath. And diffusing, it's great. It's great mixed with other things too, like lavender. My second oil has to be my favorite all time on the face of the planet. I mean, there's nothing that lavender can't do. So I've been doing oiling for over 20 years, just because I've been infatuated since I was a kid. No, I'm older than that, but so even when my kids were little, so I have a 21 and a almost 25-year-old, and they've been having lavender in their baths since they were born. So lavender is just one of those incredible, it's antibacterial. So it can heal, and this is my story again, but anytime I get a paper cut, I'm a jewelry designer, I cut myself all the time. I'm always opening something or getting to scrapes and stuff. So I smell like lavender all the time because I put it on every single abrasion, whatever I have. And literally 2 days later, you wouldn't even know it was there. And I live in Colorado, so I went hiking and I had this interesting little thing on my arm, and turns out it was some sort of a bug bite, but I couldn't get rid of it. So I put a Band-Aid with lavender on it and I put it on for 3 or 4 days and it's completely gone. Part of that is because it helps remove those skin layers of sebum so that it kind of allows the skin to heal through it, and then it removes, you can like slough it off real easily. So it's antiseptic, antifungal, anticonvulsant, vasodilating, it's a relaxant, and it's an anti-inflammatory. I know that it can reduce cholesterol, but I really think that it's better because it's calming and relaxing. So the more you can use it through your hands, you can put it on your feet, you can diffuse it in the air. I mean, I keep this in my purse all the time. Forget the roller ball. I use too much of it. I just bathe in it basically. But it's probably, I mean, when I have hair issues, I'm a menopausal life coach, so I always recommend that people in menopause keep this with them because it's cooling and calming and soothing. You get a hot flash, you put this to your nose, and I mean, it's subtle, but it works. Let's see. My third oil is peppermint. And peppermint is one of those things that you kind of don't think about too much because it's in everything. But when you use it in this quality, you can use it in anything you want. Like you can put it in your hot chocolate. You can add it to rose tea to cool you off a little bit. You can put it in your belly button to cool yourself off immediately if you're having a hot flash. I mean, that's like an amazing thing. And I wouldn't get it, I don't like to huff it up too close to my eyes because it does get a little strong for the eyes, but it's great. This one is Vitality that comes in the kit, but you can you can use it, and it's a great mixed with other things. So even frankincense, it's a little different with frankincense, but peppermint, lavender, I mean, it's calming and soothing. It's great for digestion. I don't know if it's better than Digest. It's just not as much. It's just simpler. How's that? And it's pain relieving, can curb your appetite. So if you find yourself wanting to be on a diet, you can have a nice glass of water and put a couple drops of it in there, and it helps your stomach and your appetite. Let's see. Oh, and it's also, I like to do this on the hair too with the lavender and rosemary because it's very stimulating and cleans your scalp. So my last one was the absolute first oil. I used to be one of the distributors for another company, and I fell in love with this one because I walked into a room that was being diffused in, and I just thought, I can breathe. I mean, I didn't even know I couldn't breathe before I walked into that room. So it's a lung opener, if you will. And while the lungs are right here, I find that it helps with grief. Whenever I'm sad, I'll pop the Raven in there. And I love to use it in the winter more than the summer, just because it seems like it opens up my nasal passages and my lungs better. It helps fight against respiratory disease. It's antiviral and antiseptic. And my son has asthma, and he played football for SMU. When he would be on the football field in the summer, we would put compresses. We'd get some nice warm cloths, put a couple drops of that on there and leave it on his chest for about 15 minutes. And I mean, he went from not being able to get enough oxygen to really taking some good deep breaths. So we would also put that on his feet when he slept at night. That's saying something, getting a 20 to 24-year-old giant boy to put that on his feet, but it works. So you can diffuse it. You can use it as a compress. You can put it on your feet. But for all the moms with littles, as you say, I would maybe not do it until they're older than 6, because it could be a little more stimulating than you want them to have it.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, I love hearing all of your stories. And this is the beauty of this gathering every Monday night, you guys. Literally, we have never had the same stories twice, because we keep gathering new and different people, and we keep learning more and more things. I'm learning things tonight too, which is crazy, because I've been oiling for, I don't know, 13, 14 years now, and I still pick up little things every time we get together. So I have the pleasure of visiting with you about one of Young Living's, gosh, I just want to say one of their pillar products, honestly. This is a blend of oils called Thieves. And I have actually met multiple people who, when I was introducing them to what I did for a living, they would say, "Oh, I've never heard of Young Living." And I would, share a little bit. And when they heard the word Thieves, they said, "Oh, we don't know what Young Living is, but boy, do we know about Thieves." And this oil blend is made up of lemon, rosemary, clove, cinnamon, and something else that I should know after 13 years. What am I missing? Lemon, rosemary. Someone can type it in the chat box. It's okay. But here's what you need. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nita to the rescue. Eucalyptus. It is an age-old recipe that the founder of Young Living literally plucked from the history books. These 5 oils were combined to help protect people way back in like the 15th century, when there was, interestingly enough, a plague going on. How about that? And people would anoint themselves in this oil so that they could survive. And the story is very fascinating. There are books written about it, and you should read up on that. I won't take time to tell the whole thing tonight, but here's what I want you to know. This oil, like many of the others we've talked about, comes in both the Vitality version and what I like to call the classic version. And with this Vitality, I love to make Thieves tea. Here's my recipe. I take a cup of hot water. I add a drop or 2 of Thieves. I will also add a drop or 2 of lemon that Chelsea told us about, and a teaspoon of local raw honey. And I'll stir that up. And let me tell you what, there is no better remedy for a dry, scratchy, hoarse voice, whatever is going on in your throat. That just soothes it from head to toe for me. You can cook with this. You can put it in applesauce. You can put it in your cider. There's all kind. It's got this warm, cinnamony flavor, and so it's awesome. The classic version, oh my goodness, we diffuse it all the time because I don't know how else to scrub the air that I breathe, but when I diffuse Thieves, I know that every little molecule is literally getting cleaned. And right now and always, that is very important. So the other thing that I want you to know is that there is a very broad offering, a broad product line of Thieves, because this oil is so potent and powerful that we have dish soap and laundry detergent. We have household cleaner that, by the way, has saved our family literally thousands of dollars. That's not an exaggeration, but over the years, we have saved thousands of dollars. Raise your hand if you probably have too in your house. I don't buy any other household cleaners, you guys, and I never would have dreamt in a million years that that was possible, because growing up, we had a shaker thing for the tub, and we had a squirt thing for the toilet, and we had a spray thing for the shower, and I mean, you just had to have a thing for every place, right? And now it's like, really? One bottle? Now we have multiple bottles of those one product, but that one thing does it all. So we even use Thieves toothpaste, but in your kit, one of the fun things is the Thieves spray. I have had a rather shocking experience with this stuff this very week. I love it when we can get new, fresh testimonies. But I apparently have just overdone it, and I came down with shingles. My gosh, I'm not even 80 yet. I thought you had to have an AARP card before you were allowed to get shingles. Some of you are laughing, but I thought that was true. Anyway, here's what I found after going through a whole lot of products. For me, and like Vicki said, this is my story, so I'm not claiming it's going to do anything for you. But for me, when I wake up in the morning, or after I take a shower, or before I go to bed at night, or whenever it starts itching, I will spray my skin with this Thieves spray. It is very multi-purpose, my friends. And then I have another friend, this oil that is called Australian Blue. And I'm just going to drop its name because it's not in the kit. You'll have to order that later. But it is like rubbing a blue velvet robe all over your skin, and it feels so good. The cool thing about Australian Blue is that it helps as much emotionally as it does physically. And right now, I guess that's what I need, because I'm feeling about as zen as I can get, because I am covered in this stuff and I just smell like the outback. It's amazing, okay? I've actually been to our farm in Australia, and I think that has helped conjure up some very pleasant memories, because that's a great place to be. We also talked about the hand sanitizer already, but I just want to throw this out for fun. I'm offering a beautiful little duo of a free gift tonight for anyone who decides that they would like their Young Living anniversary date to be July 13th. I think that would be a really cool date, because I actually have like 5 friends who have birthdays today, which is insane. Anyway, this book is the bomb, but I'm sending anybody who enrolls tonight an extra one of these. And we know how in demand those are. Okay, so that's a little bit about the Thieves line. The other thing I want to tell you about, the last product in our starter kit, is a powerful whole food drink that is really like a great big liquid vitamin that is called Ningxia Red. And this is made from the Ningxia wolfberry, and it is loaded with nutrients and antioxidants and vitamins and minerals that our bodies just crave. And in your kit, you're going to get 2 pouches of this. that's not going to be enough for your body to be fixed. Okay. Just saying. You're going to want to add some bottles, because it comes in beautiful bottles, or some more of these pouches that you can take on the go. I actually have a whole case of these pouches in our deep freeze right now, because one of the best things you can do in the summer is have these ready to go and frozen. And if you're going on a picnic, you just grab a few and you throw them in your cooler, and they act like your ice pack. And then by the time you're ready to eat, you just tear the top off, and it's like a slushie, and it's fantastic. Okay. So Ningxia Red, we could be here until midnight if I told you all of the things that this stuff is beneficial for. But I will just tell you, we've had some serious life-changing testimonies in our family with this drink. And I would be delighted to share those with you at a later date. But it is wonderful. It's one of the things I do want to tell you, because it is a dark red drink. And some people look at it and they're like, oh, they're having images of V8 or whatever. It's actually a berry flavor. Okay, so it's got aronia berry and cherry and pomegranate and all these delicious high antioxidant juices that are put together with the essential oils, and your body just slurps it right up and says, thank you, I'll have another, right? Marilyn can attest, when she came to my house, I poured it right down her throat. She was a little hesitant, but she drank it. She drank the red juice and she said, praise me. No, I didn't. She didn't really say that, but it looked like that's what she was going to say. So anyway, it's wonderful. It's good for you. And kids, let me just tell you something. If you have children that are old enough to get to it, you may have to put it under lock and key, because Chelsea's nodding. This is no joke. When we started Young Living, our oldest daughter was about, oh my gosh, I can't do math and talk at the same time, but 10 to 12 years old, somewhere in there. And once we got to the point, my first goal in Young Living was to earn enough income by sharing it with friends that I could order Ningxia Red freely. And so we always had some on hand. And she didn't know that this was highly valuable. She knew it was very good for her because she'd always heard me talk about the health benefits. So and we always buy it in bottles, right? None of this single serving stuff. So she would, on multiple occasions, pour herself a water glass size with ice and just fill it like it was orange juice. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Wow. And you know what? She's 20 something, 22. She still does it. I never broke her of that habit. And now she has her own ER order, and she can budget for that. So it's all good. Okay, so that leads me to my next topic, and we're almost done. So kudos to everybody for hanging in there. When our family, and it was pretty early on, when we decided that we wanted Ningxia Red to be part of our daily routine for all of us, there were 5 of us in our family, okay? When you got 5 people drinking this, you start running the numbers and you're like, okay, so this is going to be part of our budget, but how can I get it in the most economical way possible? And the answer to that question is this incredible buying program that we have that's called Essential Rewards. Now, has anybody ever shopped at Kohl's or Costco? You know the drill, right? You spend money, they give you Kohl's cash, or they give you a rebate check at the end of the year, right? And get pretty excited. I get pretty excited when I see that Costco check coming, and my husband gently and lovingly reminds me, sweetheart, that's a percentage of what we spent. You realize that the higher that check is, the more that went out. I'm like, I know, but it's still pretty cool. Well, Young Living blows those rewards programs right out of the water. And so here's what it looks like. It's very simple. You just turn on the Essential Rewards ordering, and you just order all of the household and the personal care and the nutritional stuff that you want through your Essential Rewards order. We each get 1 Essential Rewards order a month. So I always tell people, try to be as strategic as you can and put everything you can think of on that order. Now, sometimes I run out of something mid-month and I'm like, oh man, I got to get some more of that. And so I'll put in what we call the shop order, just the regular order. Okay. We don't earn any bonus points, but I still need my stuff. Okay. So these ER orders though, we earn a percentage of points back, and that can go all the way up to 25%. Those points start accruing real quick. And that's not even all. They also give you special collections that you can only get on Essential Rewards at a deeper discount, which is also kind of a nice buying perk. And the best thing is, as if those aren't enough, Young Living sends gifts in the mail wrapped in cute little satin bags to say thank you for your loyalty. And they send them at 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year. And I just find that incredible because I really do think all the other perks, they're enough. They're enough, but they insist on recognizing their loyal members. And I think that's really sweet. So it is a fun little shopping spree. I see Vicki saying she's in the middle of cashing in some ER points. It is amazing. I was helping one of our elderly members today on the phone. I help her with her account. And I said, listen, Joanne, you're not going to believe this, but you have 361 ER points. And she said, oh, are those the ones I get to spend for free? And I said, yes, they are. And she was so excited. So, and this is somebody, you guys, she is 93 years old. And she is so flippin' pumped about her ER order. So there is zero excuses, man. She has got it going on. So anyway, so that's kind of a little synopsis about Essential Rewards. You can, when you enroll in Young Living, you can make that very first order. So when you get your kit, I've unboxed mine, but when you get your whole box, you can put that on Essential Rewards and you can get a free oil right out of the chute, which I think is just so great. And then if you want to add in some extra Ningxia, add in some Thieves products, whatever, Savvy Minerals, you can boost that up and you can earn even more free things. Okay, so that's enough of that. Now, that's essentially our invitation for you, okay? We just took a crash course through that whole premium starter kit. And this is what I want to ask. What is holding you back from taking the very best care of your body? This truly is a transformational thing. You look at this screen, this is a tiny cross section of our team. And I want you to know that there is something here for everybody. Truly, from the youngest babies to my sweet 93-year-old Joanne, there is literally something in here for everybody. And I want you to take that next step so that your body will say, hey, thank you. Thank you. I've been asking for a little love. Thank you for doing that for me. So here's what you do. As soon as we wrap this up, I want you to reach out to the person who invited you here. Okay. And if you forgot who that was, ask me and I'll point you in the right direction. And they will give you their special member number. And that's all it takes. And you'll just go in. It's a super easy online shopping thing. And if you're not so hot with the computer, guess what? It can be easily done over the phone. Not a big deal. We just make sure that we've got that number because Young Living is gracious enough to send a thank you referral check every time you share this with someone else. And I think that is amazing. So you're going to get with the person that invited you. Tell them what you would like to order or take care of that on your own. And we want to get your box of goodies on its way to you right away. So thank you for joining us tonight.